So to introduce you, I am Dr. Juan Forfar. So how did this Wahnfried Cat Sanctuary come about? It started on the 1st of February this year, following a message from Julia from Simplicity Revealed channel, who sent me a message saying, could I take Rosie in? And then, I don't know if you remember those at the London railway station, terminus stations like Victoria, they'd have what are called split flat boards that would sort of all rotate, and then it would give you a list of the stations that a particular train is going to call at. So that's the way the mind works. It's like, would you take in Rosie? And it's like, well, what about having a cat sanctuary and opening this up to take in homeless cats? Back in December, I had 3 mild strokes. What's the saying? 3 strikes and you're out? Well, I'm not out. But it's meant I've had to adjust what I can do. And I thought, well, I've got 3 cats here. It's going to be no hardship to have more cats here. And they're very therapeutic. The purring is a very good thing. And they will lay on your chest and synchronize with your heart. So you get a free cat scan as well. So I can offer 6 free cat scans. And now finally we're out of that dreadful wet weather of January. Spring has finally broken. So it's magical. It's actually got a very magical feel about this land. And even Monchique, there's a lot of people from all other parts of Europe that have sort of made this their home. There's quite a large German community and a large English community. There's a few French people, and 1 or 2 others from different countries as well that I often chat to when I go to Monchique. We're going to be joined by Damiana now. She's decided, I'm going to sit on your lap. This is Damiana being in one of her loving moods, which is wonderful. So what I'm planning to do, as well as taking in homeless cats, is also offer short and long-term care for cats as well. So rather than put them into a cattery, which is basically like a prison. So people want to go on holiday. It's like, well, what do you do with the cats? Sometimes you don't have friends or neighbours that can feed them. So they get put in these places, which I think is rather cruel. Obviously, it's at anybody's own risk, because I don't know how the dynamics would work with the existing cats that are here, but I would certainly do all I could to make them feel welcome and give them somewhere where they feel settled while their owners are away. I'm not going to condemn anyone if they've abandoned cats, because we all have different circumstances in our lives, and for whatever reason sometimes people can't take the cats with them. It's quite an expensive thing to move from country to country when you've got cats. So I'm looking to open this up more to be able to offer that facility, and part of that will involve well, where I'm sitting at the moment was a covered area, which is very much needed, some very welcome shade in the summer where you're still getting a through breeze. I have the timbers to build the actual frame, but there are things like wood filler, wood glue, and a few woodworking tools. And of course the buildings themselves need a bit of work doing on them. I'll do a follow-up video with a little tour of this, what is now a cat sanctuary, and show you what I'm visioning. But of course it needs funding. Now, I don't have an income. I don't get a state pension. With the weather in January, I couldn't really do any work, plus my health is affecting the amount of physical work I can do as well. But we adjust, we look at nature, look at what the trees do. They will bend with the wind, they're flexible, and that is the best way to be in life, is be flexible, don't be rigid, because if the trees were rigid they would snap. So there's a sort of an irony of this, to have 3 mild strokes, and now I'm getting plenty of strokes from these beautiful babies. So if you're able to help in any way, donations for cat food, and even for creating and tidying up the existing buildings and creating a new structure. I have the timbers for the framework for it, but there's a long way to go with that, and that's actually going to be what I'm going to be doing the rest of the day, is sanding down these decking boards, which are going to form the basis of a framework that will be where I'm sitting now, which is approximately going to be about I suppose about 6 foot by about 8 foot, and a height of about minimum of about 6'2", 6'4", with a slope which follows the line of the roof on the building. Yes, we do live in the White House. Not the one in the USA, but that's the introduction. Not a cat this time, but a cat man do. So thank you very much for listening, and any help is very much appreciated, whether it's coming here and getting involved, because I also would like to form a community of like-minded human beings who are on a spiritual journey, who want to live a life that gets away from all that negativity, the things you see on the news of what's happening. But it's not in my world. All these things that you see on the news, and I don't even watch the news, they don't happen here. They're always somewhere over there, and I can't even verify whether they're true or not. And I really don't want to import things that are going to put me in a negative feeling. I'd rather create something that further enhances this very idyllic and paradise location in the Algarve in Portugal, near Monchique. The beauty and the timing of things, it is just incredible, because with I could start a cat sanctuary. That very evening, I put the radio on and I happened to hear Bruckner's 8th Symphony, which is known as the Apocalyptic. Now, that's not, as the name would suggest, about destruction. It's about a triumph over something. That very much comes through in the music. And what was very interesting, as that symphony finished, the radio that I'd had for about 3.5 years finally gave up the ghost. So to me, I didn't go into the negative of, oh no, I haven't got a radio, because 20 euros will buy you another radio, and I've replaced that one. So it's a new chapter, and it's sort of poignant that this is a new start in my personal life, and it's also giving a lot of what would be homeless cats a new life as well. Right, we're coming up to sort of nearly 10 minutes, so I think I've talked enough for this video. But thank you very much for listening, and thank you in advance if you can find it in your heart to help in any way with building this sanctuary so I can take in more cats. I'm sort of envisaging about 20 permanent residents here, and are also developing a network. I have people that are willing to take in cats. They want specific cats, either female or one lady wants a Siamese cat, and there's a possibility that there may be one coming. So it's going to help in many ways, and also in the divine timing, with the idea of having this cat sanctuary. There is a WhatsApp group called Friends and Neighbours, and there was a post on there, can anybody give a home to these two cats, that being Zibby and Misha? And it took me a nanosecond to decide on that one, and the answer was yes. And if you've seen the previous videos, you can see in just 6 days how well they have settled in. Some people have said you've got away with cats. Well, maybe I have. But I like to put it into the context of, put yourself in the position of another. Would you want that done to you? Would you want to be homeless and just left to fend for yourself? Or would it be more beneficial if you were offered a home in a lovely location? So that's the trajectory of Wahnfried Cat Sanctuary. So thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry this has gone on a bit longer, but I feel all this needed to be said in this video as an introduction. So thank you once again for listening.